What is going on, guys? I hope you're having a great day. Today, we're going to be going over Clean Spark, ticker symbol CLSK. It is down 15% today, and it is looking like a buy for me right now. I'm seriously considering adding it to the portfolio around the $8 range, high $8 range. And at first glance, I did not like this company. I don't usually invest in companies that don't have some net income and aren't very profitable. And if you look at any of the statistics, they seem crazily overvalued. They're selling 120 times earnings. They are selling 6 times sales, 1.8 times book value. But the more I dug into it, the more I like the company. So today we're going to be going over the recent earnings, the share dilution, what they've been buying, and a bunch of things I got set up for you guys. These videos take a lot of time, and I did a lot of research. So please hit that like button and the subscribe button, and let's get into it. So CleanSpark is a Bitcoin mining company. So they mine Bitcoin and they hold Bitcoin, which is unlike a lot of other companies. We can see right here that a lot of the mining companies, they sell up to 100% of the Bitcoin they mined. And we can see CLSK sells almost 0% of the Bitcoin they mined. Right here, June, they mined 445 Bitcoin and they sold 8 Bitcoin, which is above the average. And these guys are very efficient. They have a very high hash rate that they want. I believe they're aiming for 30 hash rates by the end of the year. We can see on the path to 50 exahashes and beyond. And we can see right here. Next one, we're going to see July 2024, Bitcoin 494 Bitcoin. So a lot more. Same efficiency in exahashes, sold only 2.5 Bitcoin. And right here we can see some of the news. Significant progress in 2 new states this month, said the CEO. Power agreements of totaling 75 megawatts has been secured in Wyoming, along with their closing of our first Bitcoin mining site in the state. So also Grid, they're going to acquire Grid, which we're going to go over in a second. Just go over the August Bitcoin mining update. 478 Bitcoin mined, only sold 2.5 Bitcoin. Very nice efficiency, very nice exahash rate. And then we can see right here that our fleet is well underway as we simultaneously prepare for a 65 megawatt capacity to be energized during the month of September. So in September alone, they're going to add 65 megawatts to their thing. This company is the most active Bitcoin mining company I've seen. These guys are buying things left and right. And the one thing that I'm very surprised about this company is that they actually have a really healthy balance sheet. Now, for example, if we can go through here, some of the things I pointed out. If we look at their assets and liabilities, their liabilities went down year over year from 84 million to 73 million. And some of the things is they paid off the loans from 8 million to 1 million. We can see the long-term loans went up a little bit, and we can see overall it went down. So what's next? Let's take a look at the assets. If you look at the assets, we can see the cash. The cash went up big time, up to 126 million in cash, which is going to help them with acquiring Grid, which they're buying for $155 million. So we can also see that their Bitcoin increased like crazy, up to $413 million worth in Bitcoin. They do hold, I believe, 7.5 thousand Bitcoin at the moment, and which is growing because they're mining around 400 to 500 Bitcoin every month and selling only a couple Bitcoin. So we can see that the total current assets went up to 598 million, mostly due to the Bitcoin and the cash raise. You can see here the deposits on miners and mining equipment. So this is a big one that's in this industry. The mining equipment doesn't last forever. The Bitcoin miners have to be serviced, and eventually they have to be sold or thrown away because their lifetime is over. Anyway, so we can see they spent they have $284 million in liabilities just from the mining equipment, deposits on the miners, buying new miners, and getting rid of the old ones and servicing them. So they do have, these are the assets, sorry. So they have 284 million in assets worth of mining equipment. And altogether, they have $1.4 million in assets, low goodwill, only 80 million. We can see that the Bitcoin rose as the assets. And we look at the income statement. Right here, we're going to see a couple things I want to point out. So the revenue has grown a lot. So this is for the 9 months ended 2023 versus 2024. They more than doubled their revenue, and they less than double their cost of revenue. So if you look at this, their gross margin for 2023 was 54%, but their gross margin 2024 was 37%. So why is this? This is because of the Bitcoin halving. When the Bitcoin halving happened not too long ago, a month or so, their block rewards went down. And so the gross margin went down. But we can see that their revenue did not fall. It is still rising because they're growing at such a fast rate. So right here we can see also, I think that's going to impact this company is the value of Bitcoin going up and down. So we can see right here that the value of Bitcoin went down and is worth $100 million less. So that impacted their total cost and expenses, we can say. We can see also, this is the big thing I was talking about, the impairment expense on fixed assets. So they spent $189 million on repairing their equipment and buying new equipment. We can see that the loss from operation over here was really seen in 3 months ended in the June quarterly report, negative 249 million, because they spent 189 million on repairing the equipment and buying new equipment. Boom. And what else do we have here? This is also for the most recent report. Okay, this is a quick thing. Outstanding shares. These guys are diluting their shareholders a lot. They went from in June 2023 they had 87 million shares outstanding. Now they have all the way up to 205 million shares outstanding. Currently they have 228 million shares outstanding. So they are diluting their shareholders to raise cash to grow the business. And I really hope they slow down the rate that they're raising shares because they're raising too much shares. And right here, let's go over the CEO letter in the most recent report. See what he thinks about the company. So we can see that they increased the hash rate 24% and the 21% increase in efficiency year to date. They have expansions in 2 new states, Tennessee and Wyoming. And we can see right here, CleanSpark is currently the most efficient large-scale publicly traded Bitcoin miner. That is huge because efficiency leads to better margins. And right here, we can see third quarter block rewards were cut by 50%, yet we managed to recognize only 7% less revenue by mining 1.5 thousand Bitcoin in the period. So right here, it shows how fast they're growing, that even having the rewards cut by 50%, the revenue only went down by 7% because the revenue grew so much. They're mining so much more Bitcoin. We can see right here as well, net loss primarily due to 2 non-cash factors: fair value of our large Bitcoin holding and impairment in older, less efficient miners. So that is just the main cost of this company and all the other Bitcoin mining companies. We continue to have one of our strongest balance sheets in the industry, partnership with Coinbase, where we have acquired 50 million of revolving line of credit collateralized by their Bitcoin holdings, which is really nice. That's where their Bitcoin holdings come in handy. Next news. CleanSpark announces agreement to acquire grid infrastructure. So this deal is already done. This is going through, and they will get 400 megawatts in Tennessee from this deal for $155 million. So if we calculated, they're paying $388,000 per megawatt, which is not too expensive, but the deals they've done in the past, they paid in the $200,000 range for a megawatt. But this is a big deal. And right here, we can see that they won't get all the 400 megawatts right away. They will have 100 megawatts by the end of the year, 200 megawatts by 2025, and finally exceeding 400 megawatts in 2026 just from this acquisition alone. So Grid, if you look at their financial statement, Grid is also a publicly traded company. Right here, we can see that the revenue is growing. It's growing $10 million in revenue from Bitcoin mining and mining services revenue. And if you look at their assets and liabilities, they have $41 million in assets, 31 million, almost 32 million is just from property and equipment that is now going to be CleanSpark's. And we can see that their total liabilities is $70 million, and 15 of those $70 million are from the CleanSpark credit agreement. So overall, I am happy with this acquisition, and this is one thing that just blew my mind. I've never seen institutional ownership just go up so quick in this company. We can see that the institutional ownership is just growing like crazy. People are buying into this stock. So we're going to go over the valuation next, but right here, I want to show you guys a couple of things. So we can see the diluted shares outstanding, just how fast they've been growing. And what did I want to show you guys? The insider buying and selling, who is buying and selling this company. And sadly, we can see just a lot of selling in the insiders. In the $16 range, $20 range. We can see the CFO is selling, CEO is selling, and CEO is selling 400,000 shares. And right here in the year, 300,000 shares sold by the CEO. He used to have 3.2 million shares. Right now, he only has $2.8 million, 2.8 million shares. Same with the other guys, 300,000 shares sold, only has 2.3 million shares now. So insiders have been selling, but currently the stock is at $9, and they sold at $20. So I don't know what they're going to do with that money, but they still do hold a lot of shares. So altogether, only 2% of the company is held by insiders, and 40% is held by institutions, and that institutional number is growing. And we can see this, institutions are buying this company big time. BlackRock increased their position by 28% in 2023. Let's see, in 2024, just the CEO is selling 16% of his shares. Now the CEO himself owns 0.8% of the shares outstanding. So I went through Rex Finance's video, and at the end we can find, it's a good video. He didn't go over much numbers, just about kind of philosophy-wise. It's a good video, you guys should check it out. But right here we can see his valuation. So his price targets is $30 by the end of 2024, and by the end of 2030, $800. And this, of course, is only if Bitcoin goes up to $1.2 million, which is, I believe, Kathy Wood, that's her price target. So that's what he was following. But if Bitcoin goes up to $1.2 million, I think all of us watching this video will be very happy.
Correlation? I don't know what the word is there. Between Bitcoin mining stocks and Bitcoin itself.
I thought he was going to say, one thing he just said is that while Bitcoin went up 40%, all the mining companies went down 40%. So that is an opportunity to benefit more from holding Bitcoin mining companies versus holding Bitcoin itself. So if this does happen and Bitcoin goes to $1.2 million and CleanSpark goes to $800, the CLSK return would be 4,000%, while Bitcoin would only be up 1,900%. And right here, one thing he did point out is the outstanding shares. So right here, we can see that they have 228 million shares outstanding, and he predicts by 2030, it'll be at 300 million shares outstanding. Right here, we can see just the speed that this company is growing at. Analysts are projecting that the revenue for 2025 will be $683 million. That's a 75% increase. And I read somewhere that they are projecting to, for the next 3 years, to grow their revenue at 40% every year. If they do follow that, that means in 3 years, the revenue will be $940 million, almost $1 billion. So even with the bad things, like a lot of people are saying that the CEO is getting overpaid. He's getting paid $3.5 million, and other guys are also getting paid millions of dollars. But they only have 130 employees, which is not that big. It's a mining company. They don't need that many people to run it. But even with that, which I don't think is too bad, a lot of CEOs of companies similar size are getting paid like $11 million and very high stock-based compensation, which I did not find in CleanSpark. So even with that and the share dilution, I think this company is in a very good position, and now is a very good time to invest in Bitcoin mining companies. Because if you do follow the 4-year cycle of Bitcoin, 2025 should be a very good year for Bitcoin. And if it's a very good year for Bitcoin, it's going to be a very good year for all the Bitcoin mining companies. So I am bullish on this company. Please comment down below, what did I miss? Do you guys hold any stocks? And just thank you guys very, very much for watching. And if you did stick around to the end, please hit that subscribe button and check out some of the other videos. I did make a video on Galaxy Holdings, which is another crypto company. Their main thing is in Bitcoin mining, but check that video out and have a great day, guys. Take care.